Let's see. Hi, welcome to our weekly webinar. My name is Maria. I'm here with Valentin. Hi, Val.
Hi, hello.
And every week we are answering the questions that we've got in our social media. So whenever you are watching us, please leave the comments. If you have any questions, we can even answer it live. So feel free to ask whatever you want. So let's begin with a question from Belinda that she left in our video last week. So will Classtime open a space in which students can work in different groups, like breakup rooms?
That's a fantastic question and, request. We've honestly haven't thought about it in that much detail yet. It's mostly common in, like Google Hangouts or Zoom, where you can separate your students into, such as, breakup rooms where they can collaborate together and work on things together. So I guess, as of today, the best way to solve this is the collaborative challenge team games. So I can show this quickly, where you have the challenges, where you have the team game, where students are then automatically grouped into little groups where you can do some sort of a little breakout and have students then work together. That obviously works best in a real classroom environment. So it depends a bit on, if you're distance, hybrid, or in class, depending on where in the world you are. But that's a bit the thought behind it. Then finally, there is a second option. A few creative teachers have used this, which is you can create different sessions, right, for different groups. So this is an example of a escape room, and it's based on a PowerPoint, like a Google Slides. And what you can see is that in the beginning, this educator has created little buttons here, and they're linked to a Classtime session. So what happens is when this link is sent to students, they can click on their specific breakout little group, and they will go into a different session, which then also means for you, when you then have multiple sessions for the same session, maybe like B1, B2, B3, you'll just see them then in different groups there. Yeah. What you can't do today is then merge them back into one big group or so. So this is something that we would need to better understand. So Belinda, if you have any specific recommendations, we'd be more than happy to hear them.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the next one from Christina. Do I have to re-import every new class from my Google Classroom account? So after she gives the first permissions, right, to Classtime?
Absolutely. So the short answer is yes, you do. So when you click here, your classes, and you import from Google Classroom, this will allow you to import all of your classes that you've already set up in Google Classroom, including all of the student rosters, straight into Classtime so that you can invite them into a session with one click. This will automatically invite them to to our session, and it will create an assignment in Google Classroom. And at the end of the session, you can even synchronize all scores back into Google Classroom, into the assignment, so that all the data is in one place, or in this case, actually two, in Classtime and in Google Classroom, but synchronized. But if you do make any changes to students in your class, or if you add a new class, you need to resynchronize it. We don't do this automatically for you so that you have full control. But all you need to do is go back into classes and then click on import from Google Classroom. It will just run an update as it's doing right now, and that's it. You'll have the latest class now there. I didn't add a new class, but if I had, I would see now the new Google Classroom here as well. Or if I had added new students, they would also be populated in here.
Okay. And Daniel is asking, are you planning to release a Microsoft Teams integration in the near future?
Yes, so the short answer is yes, we are. So as you've seen right now with import from Google Classroom, it's fully integrated and synchronized with Google Classroom. And we are looking right now into building the same for Microsoft Teams. So this would be somewhere in lines of being able to import your classes, your teams, so to speak, right from Microsoft Teams, and then hosting a Classtime session within Microsoft Teams, and then ideally also pushing back all the scores into your Microsoft school data system, right? And then integrate it further with any student information systems you might have. It's a pretty complicated topic, as you can imagine. So we rely on your input, dear educators, and let us know, how would you use Classtime with a Microsoft Teams integration? What would you like to see, so that we can make sure that we build the perfect solution for you? But the short answer is yes, we are going to build a Microsoft integration in the coming months.
Awesome. And Marta is asking, if a student uses their personal Google account to join my class, will they be able to access the classes session?
Mm-hmm. So conceptually, right, if you create a new class, you can invite your students via email. Once you create it, sorry, let me go here, for example, via email, or you can import them from Google Classroom and it will do it automatically for you. But there's a third option, which is the class ID that you can see here. So if a student knows the class ID, they can join your class, right? And so when you then invite them to a session in the second step, let's go here, let's say this one, right? And I invite them to a session, they will have access to the assessment, right? Because you invited them. So you need to be a bit more careful when sharing that code, making sure that the student count makes sense, or that there are no other students that joined with their private emails. When you invite them, they won't have access to historic sessions. So at the point you invite a class, that's exactly the students that will be able to access that assessment. But let's assume a student did join sometime in the future, and then you invited that class again, yes, they will have access, right? But that is only possible if A, they know the code that you shared for them to join manually, and B, they also were invited by you to that session from that point onward. But they will not have access to historic sessions.
Okay, so I guess it's all the questions we have for today's webinar. If you have any
questions, shout out, yay Classtime, yay to you back, thank you. Let us know if we can help you and support you in any way, but yay to you too.
Yeah, leave any question if you want to, because we can answer like next week, as we did with Belinda today. If you don't follow us in our community, please do. We have here the address. And if you're watching us in any other channels too, please just leave the comments if you feel comfortable in any other channels other than Facebook. But we're very much alive in the community.
Excellent. Great. Then thank you, everyone, and have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.